Whilst working as a teaching assistant in primary and secondary schools across Manchester, working on art projects with young people during my time on the School Experience Week, I've seen a number of different educational institutions. I realised that in each of these institutions, behaviour management is approached in different ways, with different results in each. Some have been very strict with a whole school approach, whilst others have taken a more liberal approach to cater for the school community that they serve. This got me thinking, how does an institution decide on the approach it will take? What are the aims that the institution is trying to achieve that lead it to take these decisions? It also led me to think about the approach I would imagine taking when I come to work with young people. I'm going to try and understand a bit better how these decisions have been reached, the factors that have been considered, and also try and locate myself within this ecosystem to better understand what kind of place I'd like to work. Before I look at specific institutions, I'd like to try and understand what is meant by behaviour management. I think that when we say behaviour management, what we are really talking about are the power relations between those in authority, i.e. teachers, and those who are being managed, i.e. students. Michel Foucault states that the capillary form of power, the point at which power reaches into the very grain of the individual, is by affecting control over the body. In Discipline and Punish, Foucault states that control and power is not a destructive force that seeks to subject those who are being managed to the will of an authority. Rather, control and power seek to create, to predetermined aims and outcomes, a particular type of individual. The individuality that discipline seeks to construct, Foucault argues, is concerned with the smallest and most precise aspects of a person's body. Additionally, Foucault also observes, thanks to the techniques of surveillance, the physics of power, the hold over the body, operates according to the laws of optics. Through observing individuals continuously, the body and its place within space can be channeled towards a specific function. An example of this can be seen in a chain of academy schools, the Thinking Schools Academy Trust in Portsmouth, my hometown, which has begun using CCTV as a tool in behaviour management. In a recent report, the Trust is said to have used CCTV footage to help students to overcome the denial of their behaviours, as only by owning up to their behaviour is there a chance of improvement over time. Here we see the elements that Foucault describes. Through CCTV surveillance, the Trust is attempting to create individuality with a specific aim in mind, i.e., improving behaviour, by observing the body in time and space. Whilst on my school experience week at Warley Range High School, I observed, during my first hour in a Year 9 assembly, data from the previous week's attendance, punctuality and attentions projected at the front of the hall, creating within students the perception that every element of their day was being observed via the recording of data as they moved around the school. I would argue that the development of this ideal and the reason that it is different throughout different institutions, otherwise known as the function the school aims to fulfill, is due to a combination of two major factors. One is the resources made available to an institution, and the other is the prevailing ideology found within the institution. These two factors are influenced by the type of school, i.e. private, independent, academy, grammar or pupil referral unit, and are also influenced by the ideological background present within the institution, affected by the senior leadership team, the makeup of the students in the school, the influence of parents on the school, the community where the school is situated, and the wider socio-political landscape. Over the last decade, both resources and schools' ideology have been largely influenced by conservative-led austerity. By controlling the resources made available to an institution and requiring schools to largely align themselves to an ideology of austerity, the government, in addition to schools, can influence the channeling of its students. The reason resources and ideology are, I would argue, the most influential is because they relate directly to the bodies of the students. The resources made available to an institution will impact directly on the facilities made available to the student body. If the physical built environment offers many different places for the body in space, it follows that the activities of the body will be engaged in more varied activities. The combination of all the above-mentioned factors results in a predetermined aim, an idealized vision of what an institution's students will develop into. Whilst it's important for me to be aware of the power relations between me and the students, it is also important for me to be aware of the web of power relations I find myself in. The influential factors that create individuality within students is also at work upon me as a teacher. Where students are under surveillance and progress is tracked by data, I too will be continuously observed and tracked. Being aware of these factors, I can be aware of the pressures I am putting on pupils and can potentially begin to disrupt elements of this apparatus to present a broader range of options to students, showing them that whatever individual they become, they can use elements of that individuality to succeed.